Well, another week in the books in sports, another week in our lives done. It is Friday, November 8th. Welcome to Doug's Sports Blog and Grill. Another great episode coming up for you. A pressure-packed weekend of NFL and college football action. Also give you some take your picks as some college basketball starts up. I'll tell you who to play, who to sit in fantasy, and we'll talk a little NASCAR at Phoenix. But first, we got to get to college football. The good college football action started last night, and the first game that I want to talk about is Oklahoma against Baylor. Brian Petty, 204 yards and 3 touchdowns as Baylor beats Oklahoma 41-12. A very impressive game by Baylor, but really Baylor's first big game of the year. They ran the ball very impressively. Linwood carried the ball 23 times for 182 yards. Very impressive day for the Baylor Bears, and they just got it done. They're 8-0 now. They got big games coming up. They got Texas Tech. They have Oklahoma State on the horizon, and they'll finish off with 4 very tough games. They're home against Texas Tech, then they'll go at Oklahoma State, at TCU, and then they'll play a home game against Texas. Texas unranked right now, 6-0, unbeaten. That could be for the Big 12 title, and Texas could potentially make a run at it for sure. Just looking at their schedule, I mean, they've put up 70 points twice, they put up 73 once, and they put up 71 once. I mean, this offense is high-powered, and then one other time they put up 69. So they put up ridiculous numbers. Art Briles has them playing some good football. We'll talk about the implications of them in the BCS coming up later on, but Oklahoma just couldn't move the ball real well, and Baylor's defense showed up as well, so that's something we don't talk about a whole lot. The other game last night, Oregon and Stanford, that was a game where Oregon came in as a 2-touchdown favorite, but Stanford defense stepped up, and Stanford got the win. Marcus Mariota, not great for sure. Now they're saying he might have an MCL sprain. DeAnthony Thomas didn't play much, and really the story was Kevin Hogan playing good enough, and Gaffney carrying the ball 45 times, a Stanford single-game record for 157 yards and a touchdown. And Stanford controlled the clock, possessing the ball for 42 minutes. Oregon only had it for 17. This game was not a 26-20 game. This game was 26-7 with 5 minutes to go. A blocked field goal for a touchdown, an onside kick, and another touchdown. I mean, this game finished at 26-20. But Oregon was never in it. Oregon was out-muscled. And now the BCS talks begin. Who, right now, I think our top 2 are solid. Alabama and Oregon, 1 and 2. But then the talk becomes Ohio State's probably 3. Stanford's now 4. But then you have Baylor right behind Stanford. I mean, I think Baylor at some point will jump Stanford. But right now Stanford does have the most impressive win of any team there. Oregon will probably drop some, but I don't even know how far Oregon will drop. They're not going to have that the Pac-12 title game to come back on. So really right now it's Alabama and Florida State, and really I think Baylor, if one of those 2 teams slips up, I think Baylor is probably the should be the third-ranked team in the BCS right now. I don't think Ohio State's played a tough enough schedule. Sure, they haven't lost in the Urban Meyer era, but still, I can't trust them. I think Baylor has shown that they're a complete team, and if they can run the table and finish it out strong, I think Baylor should be right up there. And Alabama could slip up this weekend against LSU. I don't think they will, but it could be a good game, and they'll also have tough games going down the stretch. They might have to match up with Missouri in the SEC title game. So big moves still to be made in the BCS. We'll talk about it more as the weeks go on. We'll really talk about it Monday after this weekend shakes out and we see what happens. All right, so now it's time for my college football picks for the weekend. My first pick, I want to do Syracuse against Maryland. My Orange going down to Maryland, down to College Park, Maryland, take on the Terps, 5-3. Syracuse 4-4. I think Syracuse will run the ball effectively. Terrell Hunt will do enough, and Syracuse will get out of Maryland with a 28-17 win. My next pick, I'm doing upset alert. I'm looking for Virginia Tech to beat Miami in Miami tomorrow. Duke Johnson out with the ankle injury. Virginia Tech, Logan Thomas, I think can get it done. Virginia Tech over Miami. That's my upset alert. And the big game tomorrow night, Alabama, LSU, and Tuscaloosa. College game days there. I think Alabama is too good. I think they can get to Mettenberger, put some pressure on him, and they'll stop that run game as well as Alabama defends the run pretty much better than anybody in college football. So I'm taking Alabama 38, LSU 20, and we'll see what happens in that game. But I think Alabama will take care of business. All right, NFL action now. I just want to talk briefly about the Thursday night game, which actually turned out to be a pretty exciting game, even though it was two teams with a combined 4 wins on the year. We saw last night Minnesota getting it done. Adrian Peterson, 2 touchdowns. Christian Ponder doing enough, I guess, going out with a shoulder injury. But really it came down to Robert Griffin not executing plays late. He had a big game. He threw the ball well, but he couldn't find the end zone late, and that's been Washington's MO this year. They've ran the ball well. They've gotten in the red zone, but they haven't been able to finish plays off. So Minnesota goes to 2-7. Washington falls to 3. I believe Washington fell to 3-6. So we'll see what happens down the stretch. Washington for sure is not out of the race. We'll see what they can do. And Christian Ponder says he will be back next week to play against the Seahawks. That's all I really got on that one. Now I'm going to give you my 3 picks for NFL action. The first, a 1 o'clock game on Sunday, Detroit versus Chicago. I think Matt Stafford, Calvin Johnson will be effective against the Chicago secondary. You got Detroit winning this one 35-28 in Jay Cutler's return for the Bears. Carolina against San Francisco, a 4 o'clock game. I think San Francisco will be able to run the ball effectively against Carolina. I don't think Kaepernick will have a big game, but I think they can slow down Cam Newton. San Francisco is one of the hottest teams in the NFL right now. Coming off a bye, I got San Francisco 24, Carolina 16. And the Sunday night game, I don't think it will be as close as people think. I think Drew Brees at home is unstoppable. New Orleans is for sure a different team at home. So I'm taking New Orleans 32, Dallas 18. Now continuing my picks, it's time for Take Your Pick. First I'm going to give you my fantasy sit and my fantasy play. The guy you got to sit this week is Colin Kaepernick. Carolina's doing well against the pass. I don't think he's going to play great. I think they will win, but he's not going to play great. And my play of the week, go pick up Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler projected to get 17 points in fantasy leagues this week. That should be good numbers for him. And he has a lot of weapons, so we'll see what he can do. All right, NASCAR heads to Phoenix. 2 races left in the chase. Jimmy Johnson, 7-point lead over Matt Kenseth. This week I got Kevin Harvick picking up the win at Phoenix. Runs good there, and he needs to make a move if he's going to try and win the chase. All right, my Knicks get it back going tonight at the Garden, or on the road at the Bobcats. Bobcats beat them the other night. I'm going over or under 1.5 wins this weekend as they'll take on the Bobcats and then the Spurs at home on Sunday. I'm going to go under 1.5 wins. I think they'll win tonight, lose on Sunday, and they'll be 2-4 out of the weekend. Now finally, 2 college basketball games. Oregon versus Georgetown. Oregon not without Dominique Artis and another big player for them going up against Georgetown in Seoul, South Korea tonight. I think Oregon will get it done. I think Georgetown will get it done. Markel Starks will be too much for the Oregon defense. Oregon will not be able to score enough. I got Georgetown winning that one. And Cornell starts it up with Syracuse tonight. My Syracuse Orange tipping off their college basketball season tonight. I think Syracuse will win, and I got Syracuse winning this one by 18. So Syracuse will win by 18, and that is my picks for the weekend. Monday I'll be back. I'll go around the Shield with you. We'll talk some Monday Night Football as well as it's the debacle bowl preview for sure. Dolphins versus Bucks. I'll give you my BCS top 5, my college football review. Always remember, follow me on Twitter, YankeeBaller415. You can also comment, question, subscribe to my YouTube page and my Facebook page. I was just looking at my views. I got 1,769 views on the channel with 24 subscriptions. We're approaching 200. We're just 200, or we're approaching 2,000. We're just 231 views shy of 2,000 views. So get those views and let's get this done by next week. Thanks for tuning in. I will see you on Monday. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the great college, NFL, and other sports action. We'll talk about it all on Monday. I'll see you then.